adjust our machine. नाम क्या है? किशोर.
60 years old male. He is complaining of swelling over bilateral lower limb since 5 days. He has a history of diabetes since 7 years. He is on regular medication for it. Right now he is having restriction of movement. Over the ear, in the right foot, the dorsalis pedis is palpable, whereas on the left foot it is not palpable. There is a diffuse swelling present over bilateral lower limb. Raw area of ulcer present over the dorsal aspect of the left foot. Dorsalis pedis on the left foot is not palpable. Reduced sensation over bilateral lower limb. And hence the Doppler was advised.
पाय थोड़ा सा करा. मराठी बोलता हिंदी? मराठी. So this is a 60-year-old male, known diabetic, and has got a ulcer over foot. Is symptomatic. He says he is symptomatic since 5 days. पैर में कब से तकलीफ है आपको? उसके पहले नहीं थी? क्या आती थी? चींटी काटे जैसा लगता था. अच्छा, और क्या तकलीफ होती थी? दर्द होता था? और कभी दर्द होता था पैर में? कब होता था दर्द? अपने आप दर्द होता था? ठीक है. His symptoms are more towards general symptoms in a diabetic patient. So we'll start from all lower limb arterial Dopplers. They start from aorta, because multi-stage disease is quite common in peripheral artery disease. We know the common sites. The most common is adductor compartment. Then you can get occlusions or narrowings in iliac arteries, aortoiliac segment, and popliteal and tibial also. So we'll see the aorta. This is aorta and IVC. We see the aorta in long section, and you can appreciate that the aortic wall is not regular. As it is seen here, the posterior wall shows small calcification, and there are similar multiple port dealer हो गया, port tight ना करो. There are multiple small calcified lesions in the aortic wall. So aorta is pulsatile. We'll just see the bifurcation. There is gas coming, so what we will do, we'll go to the side and try to dodge the gas, and now we can see that bifurcation nicely. Then we'll quickly see the external iliac artery, whether it appears normal for us or not. So you can see that pulsatile pulsatility is seen there. So that indirectly indicates that artery is patent. You can see calcifications at multiple levels. This is due to long-standing diabetes. And if you are not seeing common iliac, like I am finding difficulty here due to the bowel gas, you can take the probe little bit laterally and try to dodge that gas, and now we can see the common iliac and the external iliac in throughout the course. And that is the, here is the origin, that is aorta. This is one common iliac, other common iliac, this common iliac, and the external iliac. So apparently there is no disease. We will just confirm by spectrum. We will reduce the depth as we have to see the aorta again. While seeing aorta and IVC through a convex probe, what you can do in addition is you can angulate the probe either proximally or distally. Will increase the PRF. And now you can see, now we will put the spectral Doppler there. Because we are seeing aorta, we'll increase the sample volume size, we'll put the angle, and now थोड़ा श्वास थांबवा. सोडून द्या. So the aorta shows almost normal pattern of flow. Imaging of common iliac artery, little bit difficult many a times, but with practice you can achieve that. This is the bifurcation, and after seeing bifurcation at the same place I am turning my probe by 90 degrees, and this is the common iliac artery. The common iliac artery is little bit shorter, and you can, if you can see the triphasic flow there. I will reverse it. Then we will move on to the external iliac artery. Identification of external iliac artery is very simple, and you can do it very nicely. Just above the inguinal ligament, if you see, you can see that artery and vein both. So take the color box there. This external iliac artery makes an angle with the probe, so you need not do angling of the probe. You can keep it just vertical. We'll change the angle to this side. Now this angle matches with the flow. We'll reduce the sample volume. Before putting on spectrum, you should do all these changes and then take a spectrum. So if you can see here, it is not showing triphasic flow. It is showing a little bit biphasic type of flow. Let's sample it again. I'll show the iliac bifurcation if it is seen. Routinely we don't image the internal iliac artery because it doesn't contribute to the disease. So that we have crossed the joint here. Now we'll change our probe from regular convex to a high frequency linear probe. We'll change the settings. Little bit adjustment is required every time because you are scanning the lower limb right from aorta to TBL. The region is very big, so you should make frequent adjustments of the machine position, your position, and please put off this light. Right, so this is a femoral artery. Always start in transverse section. You see the femoral artery and femoral vein. Artery is always lateral. This is femoral vein. This is Mickey Mouse. That is a GSV. And the saphenofemoral junction. This is tributary of GSV that we will see later when we do that. Is it working? Okay. So the common femoral artery, you can see it is diseased. You can see there is the vessel wall will get the focus to the artery so that you see it nicely. You may increase the depth, and there are again multiple calcification. There is intimal thickening, generalized disease. So we will just sample once here before proceeding to the limb proper. The color box is, you can reduce the size. When there is a diffuse calcification, this question also came last time. When there is diffuse calcification, what to do? Huh? Oh. So we were seeing the common femoral artery here, and if you assess the flow, we'll do a quick scan. At places you can see it is a monophasic type of flow. Now we go distally and try to see the superficial femoral artery. You can see that there is a flow. You can do this first without a color, and then you can put a color wherever once your the B mode survey is done. Use lot of jelly while doing color Doppler, so that you need not take the probe off frequently, because see, vessel is hardly 5 to 10 millimeters and your probe is almost 3 inches or 7 to 10 centimeters, and ideally you should see it in transverse plane and then see it in a longitudinal plane. So this is in longitudinal plane. I am seeing a lot of disease there. There is intimal thickening on both sides, the anterior and posterior side. Multiple calcifications are there. You see, this is, you get little bit difficulty in seeing the artery in long section. So what we will do while seeing in long section, we will put a color box there. Now because the flow is going in that direction, we will just steer the probe, steer the color box to the other side, and now what you can see here, this was not seen in B mode, but now you can see there is something. The color box is not filling the artery. What I will try is I will try to reduce the color scale here, but still it is not seeing. You see that calcification there. That calcification is causing hindrance to the ultrasound beam, and you are not getting that color flow. So we'll scan this artery, and if the distal to the in such cases we'll just screen the artery distal and try to see whether that is abnormal flow. So there is aliasing here. You can see in the same setting the common femoral artery, and there is lot of aliasing. I am increasing the PRF and still the aliasing is not going. See that aliasing, I am increasing the PRF, it is still there. So we suspect a pathology there. We'll reduce the sample volume size a little bit and now sample it here. Remember this noise. This noise is of narrowing. This noise is of stenosis. This noise gives you indication or confirmation that there is significant narrowing there. The peak systolic velocity is where more than 400. So we move on distal to the narrowing, and now you don't see any flow. Why you don't see any flow? Because you had increased the PRF at the level of stenosis. So you have to come back to normal, the normal range of PRF, and then you will be able to see the distal vessel. So all that we have seen in the presentation, you can see here. There is spectral broadening, there is turbulence, and you can see that the velocities are less than the proximal part. So we move on our survey distally to see whether there is any additional lesion. Here little bit you can see there is again a underfilling of the vessel lumen. If I show you, this is the lumen from here to here, and this is the area of narrowing. Can appreciate this. I will increase the PRF here. By increasing PRF, you can see that the flow is monophasic in the proximal artery, and here there is significant narrowing with aliasing. So what I would do is sample the artery before the narrowing. The auto calculation says that the peak systolic velocity is 93, and then I see that at the level of the narrowing, that at the point of aliasing, then I have angulated the probe little bit so that I am getting an angle of 60 degree. Now you can see the spectral gate that is parallel to the flow, so that I get very correct velocities. So we will get down the baseline and see the velocities have increased to almost 4 times. It was 90 before, and now it is 324 centimeter per second. So this is very significant stenosis. The patient has multi-level disease. He had narrowing in the proximal SFA, he had narrowing here in the mid part, and that is the reason of his distal lower limb disease. We are coming down and we see again there is aliasing here. Our PRF is still high, remember. The PRF is still high and we are seeing a narrowing here. Again we measure here. Again increase velocities. Proximal to narrowing, the velocities are quite low. And here you can see that there is increase. Again there is narrowing. So this patient has a multi-level stenosis in the femoral artery, and he requires treatment, otherwise that ulcer will not get healed. So distally, as we move distally, I am not seeing any flow. I will check my technical parameters. The scale I have increased, I need to decrease it again to the normal level so that I can see the artery filling well. So I am almost near the adductor compartment. The vessel is dipping down, and you see one more aliasing here. We'll increase the color gain to see that. So we'll just see what is happening distally. थोड़ा सा पाय मोड़ा असा ठेवून द्या खाली. So popliteal arteries can be seen either in a prone position or in a lateral position, and what we have to identify the vessel first. I'll show you the B mode. So this is the artery. The vein is little bit superficial here. You can see the slow flow in the vein, and this is the anterotibial artery, the anterotibial vein, and this is probably the short saphanopopliteal junction. Why I am showing this? Because it sometimes you are not able to appreciate, and because I am seeing here, I am just telling you that this is a short saphenous vein draining into the popliteal artery. If you put color, things will be more clear. Now we have to make an angle 60 degrees. So what we will do, we invert or change the steering to other side. We just increase the color box width. Now you see all vessels. You see them. So this is popliteal artery, this is anterior tibial artery origin, this is popliteal vein, this is the anterior tibial vein draining into it, this is another vein. This may be paired popliteal vein if it is going parallel, or this could be intersaphenous vein, and this is a short saphenous that is going directly up here and coming to join the popliteal vein. So we'll go back to our arterial side and try to see the spectral pattern in the popliteal artery. We'll invert the Doppler here, and what we see is a there is rounding of peak, there is spectral broadening, the peak systolic velocity is okay, and so this denotes a proximal narrowing. The anterior tibial artery origins, sometimes you get narrowing there, so you should try to see whether there is narrowing. Because he has got multiple disease, you can screen his distal vessels also. For looking the tibial arteries, it is useful to see them from distal to proximal. It is difficult to trace the tibial arteries in the calf region. So they have got fixed locations in around ankle, the posterior tibial as we palpate just behind the malleolus, and anterior tibial just lateral to the tibia bone. So if you see them, try to see with 2D, you can see the three vessels, three musketeers. You can see this. I'll just increase the size. These are three vessels, 1, 2, 3. If I compress, 2 get compressed and 1 doesn't get compressed. Can you appreciate that? And this is the way veins should be assessed. The veins should be assessed in transverse section, and you should keep compressing them to see their patency. And compressible vein almost always rules out a thrombosis. So these are three vessels, the artery and two veins. If you trace them, it is important that you do not apply pressure while doing peripheral Doppler. You do not apply probe pressure. We are used to putting pressure on the probe while we are doing ultrasound abdomen. Two things we should always do while doing Doppler. One is not to move probe much, and second, not to give pressure. So we'll see this posterior tibial. I have brought my machine nearer so that my hand is not getting stretched, and if required I can just rest my hand on the couch so that my wrist movements they become more easy and my shoulder doesn't get rotator cuff injury or other stress injuries. So this is how we see that compression, and we will now see the artery in particular. We will make a long section here. While making long section, you have to be sure that you are turning the probe at same location and you are not changing it. So little bit reduce this, try to see the pulsatility in the vessel. Not much appreciated, but this looks a full vessel. We will try to sample this. Yes, this is artery, and this is a vein. These are two paired veins, if you can see. So artery flow, again 1, 2, 3, 4. The direction is normal. Color box, steering done. Why steering is done? Because the artery is parallel to the skin surface. So the blood flow is making an angle of 90 degree. So how to reduce that? You make steering. Steering in the machines usually is 20 degrees. In some machines it is 25 degrees. In higher end machines it is 30 degrees. So here it is almost 30 degrees steering. And what you need an angle of 60 degrees or less while doing Doppler to get a maximum information about the Doppler shift. So in addition, if you see that the angle is not proper, after putting the pulse Doppler, if you see that, for example here, if I keep my probe straight, the angle of the artery and angle of the flow and angle of the spectrum, they are not matching. So I just, what you can say, steer or angulate the probe little bit cranially, so that the vessel makes an angle better angle, and now this angle is 60 degrees. Now I can get a correct Doppler shift also, information about Doppler shift, and correct velocities also. So these are the velocities in the posterior tibial artery. It is very much patent and shows a good amount of flow. I will just screen this for evidence of stenosis in it, because he has multiple level of stenosis. Little bit narrowing here, but doesn't look significant narrowing. So we'll see his anterior tibial artery. पाय सरळ करा, लांब करा, थोड़ा हाथ फिरवा. Again, put jelly first. You know the course of the artery. Along the course, put the jelly, and then see in transverse section in the B mode. You see this tibial arteries and veins. In the long section, you can see that artery lumen nicely. Adjust the focus to that level so that the arterial wall is nicely seen. You can reduce the gain. Now you can see that artery very nicely. You can see the wall calcification, little bit intimal thickening, multiple lesions. This is typical of diabetes, and this is the artery coming out from the interosseous membrane, as you can see. Just do a, so again the importance of steering here. The artery is making an angle this way, and your steering is in that way. Now if you invert this steer, you see the flow in a better fashion. So always think while doing Doppler, what is correct, what should I do to get a correct information from the artery or the vein in question. So again, little bit probe angling, and that artery gives a the PSV is 35, end diastolic is 12, little bit reduced. You can see the definite spectral broadening here, rounding of peak. That is a tardus parvus, and that is a indicative of proximal disease, as we have seen in examples. I'll just show how the steering makes the issues. See, this is wrong steering. You can see the amount of flow seen is less. If you put pulse Doppler here, if you put pulse Doppler here, see the velocities, they are changed, the pattern is changed. And if I change the steer to correct, so this is important. Always remember while doing Doppler, do proper steerings, do proper settings, and enjoy it. So I think we are done with this case. So he has got generalized atherosclerotic changes. He has got multiple level disease in the femoral artery, and they are very significant, very tight stenosis. But the distal runoff is not that bad, because he has a chronic disease. That may be the reason that there are multiple collaterals have developed. Multiple collaterals have been developed, and he has got good distal flow. But still, because of the disease, he has developed. You have a patient? Till we change the patient, we will have one case. There are one or two cases. The students will present it to you. He is Dr. Aditya. Come here.